from the bottom.
Hey! Yeah.
I'll just mess that up, bro.
Alright guys, so before I get into the bike build, I got a couple things I need to do before I can start working on it. So I got the Jeep Gladiator seats out right here. I gotta take them down there to go get upholstered because they're gonna be red with white diamond stitching on it. Then I got one of the wheels for the Jeep Gladiator. I gotta go take it to the paint guys because they're gonna go get this paint coat right here off of it and try to match it up with the accent pieces on it. I got the ZX10R fairings because I need to take a piece out of that and have them color match the tank to the pieces of fairings for it. And also back here I have the wheels for the 2014 R1, and this one is not true, so I need to get it fixed, and then I'm gonna go get them painted by the same people that are painting the tank. But if they can match this paint up pretty good, I think I'm gonna do the R1 wheels the same color as this, because I think that'll look pretty good with the Nardo gray. But let's get all this stuff done so we can actually get to building a bike. One trip. We only do one trip out here. So for some reason, I thought I was gonna be able to get more clips of me running errands, but completely forgot to film that. But I got the wheels out back, so let's go check those out. I got all the grease off of it, but they're kind of like stained. I don't know if you can see, there's like staining inside of them. That really doesn't matter because then there's still some brake dust on this, but you know, I'm gonna sand that all down. So let's get these inside the shop and start prepping them. Got these wheels all prepped and sanded down. I took off the weights, and what I do, the Spanish people at the tire shop taught me this. You kind of mark where the weights were. You can see right there where I pulled them off. So then you don't have to take this to go get it rebalanced, because every tire place, for at least motorcycle tires, they want a lot of money just to mount and balance like 2 street bike tires, and I know it's not that hard. So what I'm gonna do now is, you can actually get a really nice paint job on these if you just mask it off around here and be very very careful about the way you mask it. I actually finished masking off these wheels. It takes quite a bit of time. What I actually do is I just mask off the whole lip of it, and then I take one of these vinyl flatteners and get the tape inside of the lip, mask off this part, valve stem, and then on the back end of that's masked off where the rotor goes. This thing is all masked up nice, and then put a little bit of tape where the rotor mounts, because when the paint goes on there, it might sit uneven. So then you'll get like, it'll feel like your rotor's warped, but it's not. It's just there's more paint in some areas than the other on the mounting surface. So mask that off, then put a little hole in it, because I don't know if you guys saw, but in the bobber video, I put like a bar in a vise and then spun it, and those wheels turned out really nice. So what I'm gonna do now is just acetone them down. And it's actually nighttime, and my neighbor that has the vise isn't here right now because it's like 11 o'clock at night, but my neighbor down there has a vise outside. If you're watching this, Daryl, I'm using your vise. I'm actually gonna pull my Jeep up because I got the light bar on it, and then point the light bar on the vise, so then I can paint this, because I want to get this done tonight, then let it sit overnight, and then put them on in the morning. I got these wheels right here on the back of the Jeep. I got my 1/4-inch drive. This is like a 12-inch extension. So I'm just gonna clamp that in the vise and then spin these. Let me go grab this paint real quick and then pull the Jeep around. So we're around back. Hopefully Daryl doesn't mind me using his vise. If he watches this and sees I'm using his vise, I'm sorry for not asking, but it is late and I wanted to get these really done tonight. I'm gonna clean up anything if I do make a mess. Alright, so this went on really nice. I did a really thick first coat, so the second coat's not going to be as thick, but this wheel looks pretty good. I got a timer here for 5 minutes for the second coat. What I'm going to do now is get this other wheel and start painting this one. So these wheels are done. That started coming off midway through rolling it. This wheel actually stays rolling pretty nice, but nothing you can do about that. Gotta just keep going. 2 coats of base and then a really thick coat of clear. And man, I don't know if you can see, but these look really good. This one over here, it didn't run at all. It dried enough before I took it off and stopped spinning it. So I'm gonna let these sit overnight, put them back inside the shop, and then in the morning I'll pull off this masking tape and put them on the bike. So I got all the masking tape off of it and I mounted the weights back up. I can pull this off now. That masking tape was on there good because I really pushed it down in the crease on the wheel, so it was like it got the whole lip inside of there. Got these weights back on, so now I'm gonna put the rotors on it. Dang, that looks really cool. Those wheels actually I think look really nice. So what I'm gonna do now is I just got in the mail the hardware that holds on the headers up here at the top of the engine blocks. Yeah, I stuffed a little bit of paper in there just in case when I cleaned it down no water would get in there. So I got the headers over here and we're gonna go put them on. It shouldn't take too long. I think there's only 2 for each, 8 bolts and then 1 underneath bolt that holds it down, and then I got the exhaust right here. But we're just gonna put the headers on for now. What we're gonna be doing now is putting the tank on so that I can start putting fairing pieces on, and then I gotta put, like, you know, a whole bunch of other little stuff on as it goes on. But I need to hook up this fuel line and then plug in the fuel pump plug. So let's get this tank on. Tank is now on, is held in with 2 bolts back here and then 2 bolts up there. So those ones make it so you can swivel and hook everything up underneath it, but I did that before I hooked up any of the hardware. So 4 bolts hold that down. What I'm gonna be doing next is putting in the key set. So you have the tank, the ignition, and then the piece down here that hooks in for the rear key to open up the back hatch of it. So we're gonna start doing that, and then we can start putting the fairings on. Right here are my fairings. You know, always sent to me by NT Fairings. So these fairings look great. They're the orange and black Repsol kit. I think this is gonna look really nice. So once we get those keys on, we can start putting this on. And also, I got a headlight assembly for the front of it. And look what they sent me. They sent me some mask inside of there. I think that's pretty cool. Different company. Right here is my gas cap and my rear seat and then the ignition set. And this piece right here is not the same one that goes into the ignition. So I'm tired of waiting for parts for everything with everything that's been going on. So I'm just gonna keep that OEM ignition on it and then switch the tank and the rear key set. So then I'm just gonna put this key, like, you know, put them together so then you can unlock it with that. I don't really like to do that, but I'm really not gonna wait another week and hold this project up over something like that when I can just do it the other way. First fairing officially on. I got 2 pieces of hardware here in the rear and then 1 on each side in the back, which you have to put this little like sleeve in it because rubber garment goes behind it. There's a little bit of playroom, but this is on there really nice. What I'm gonna do now is just place the gauge cluster in here. I don't have the wiring harness that plugs into here yet. Had to order one brand new because I could not find a used one, but the gauge cluster is over here, so let's open it up. Gauge cluster, front wheel fairing, check. Now what we're gonna do is slap this exhaust on. I don't have the clip piece for it that goes up here, but it does bolt in right there, then it clamps on, so it should stay pretty sturdy with that stuff. I need to find a clamp for it, so let's get that on. That had to be the easiest slip-on I've ever installed. It took me maybe 3 minutes. Got that piece of hardware right there, then clamped on. And this thing, I don't know, you can see it shaking the whole stance. This thing's on there good. I don't know if I'm gonna need this clamp up here. We'll see when it runs if it rattles at all, but see how there's like a minimal amount of play in that? And it always has to move a little bit because the engine vibrates, so sorry, but I'm not going to be able to get anything else really done with this bike for this video because I need hardware to put on these pieces. I don't have long enough M5 hardware here to hold in the headlight assembly, and then I need to go get the hardware that holds on the tip over sensor. It's like, I think like an M4 nut. And then for all this stuff, I do have the hardware to put these together, but I don't have stainless washers to put inside these holes. So I'm not even gonna touch that until I go get everything. So next video, I'm gonna go to Ace, go get all the hardware I need for the rest of it, and then hopefully my front wiring harness is in, and that'll be everything I need for that bike, for this bike. So I'm just gonna mock up a couple of things to give you guys a better idea of what the finished product of this is gonna end up looking like. Like that, 2 minutes later, I just kind of got mocked all this stuff up. If you look up close, none of this is on there. I got like no hardware holding all that on, like it'll just move. But give you guys an idea of what this thing is gonna look like. But I got a question for you guys. So see this seat right here? It's kind of a little faded. It's in no rips or anything. But if you think I should do this in black leather and then get it diamond stitched with like orange stitching, let me know down in the comments if you think that's a good idea. Other than that, if you like the video, go give it a thumbs up. If you're already subscribed, thank you. And if you're not already subscribed, go hit that subscribe button down there. Peace out. Catch you guys next week.
So if you like this video, like and subscribe, because look from the bottom is your guide.